Welcome to Andy's Garage. I'm Andy Phillips. Today we're going to talk about the P0174 code that is for General Motors, a lot of times for Chevys, and basically it pertains to the fuel trim system being lean, and that's in bank 2, which is on the cylinder 2 side of your engine of your vehicle. So let's go ahead and get started. Now in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the steps to diagnose the cause of that error code. And then after pinpointing it, then I'm going to show you how to fix it. So just to kind of give you an overview of this error code, a lot of times it pertains to air intake leaks, faulty O2 sensors. It also pertains to engine misfiring. It could also be caused by just basically your air filter needing to be replaced, your mass airflow sensor being defective. It could also be a lack of fuel. So we're going to also talk about that because we'll need to run a fuel pressure test to make sure that the fuel pump, pressure regulator, all that's working properly. So now that we've kind of given an overview, let's pop the hood, get under there, and I'll start to walk you through the process of the different components and then how to look into those to see if they are the cause. So let's go ahead. Well, there's a few possible causes that can generate the P0174 code, and I'm going to go through the process of elimination. Where you want to start first, because a lot of times this can be caused by misfires or by vacuum leaks, things like that. So I'm going to go through the basic causes of what it could be. Now, in the event that it's none of these, then you may want to take it to a mechanic and have it looked at in more depth. But what I would do first is start with the air intake area right here. You want to make sure that your filter is clean. So with that removed, you want to inspect your air filter. This air filter here actually doesn't look too bad. I'm probably still going to replace it eventually anyway, but that would not be the cause. This air filter is in good shape. So that'll lead us on to the next thing, which is your mass airflow sensor. Now the mass airflow sensor is easy to locate. If you find your air filter canister and you move along through the duct work after that, it's usually located right after that. In this case, it's right here on this vehicle. So the next thing you want to do, check your engine for any codes that may be firing off pertaining to the mass airflow sensor. If there are issues with that, then you want to go ahead and replace it if need be, but you can also clean it. So what I would recommend if you are getting the P0174 code, your air filter looks good, so now you're moving on to the mass airflow sensor. You can go ahead and remove that and clean it. Now I'm not going to go into it in this video. If you want to see how to clean that, you can do so via the link above. They're very easy to clean. And then, like I said, if you are getting a code, though, then you may want to look at replacing that. So in this particular vehicle here, the air filter looks good. We've moved now on to the mass airflow sensor. Providing everything checks out with that, then the next thing you want to look for that could be causing this is also your fuel pressure. You could have issues with your fuel pressure, which could be an indication that your fuel pump assembly needs some attention. And that could require either the fuel pump itself, the pressure regulator, anything with that. So the next step you want to do, providing that these two check out as not being the problem, next thing you want to do is you want to do a fuel pressure test on your vehicle. Now, they're very easy to do. There's two ways you can do them, either with a Schrader valve or without, and let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. The Schrader valve is normally located off the fuel rail. So what you want to do is locate the fuel rail of your vehicle, and as you can see here, right back there, that is your Schrader valve. It usually has a cap over it. When you take it off, it's a little threaded piece, almost looks like like the valve on a tire. I'll go ahead and unscrew that so you can take a look at it. So there it is there. That's what it looks like. And basically you would take a fuel pressure gauge, go ahead and screw it onto that nice and secure. And then you would have to get the correct PSI for the fuel pressure for your vehicle. I'm going to put a couple links across the top here, which is going to show a fuel pressure test I did on this particular vehicle. Now on yours, the location of the Schrader valve will vary, but it's always going to be around the fuel rail. That's what you're looking for. Now, in the event that you do have a car that does not have a Schrader valve, which some do, I'm also going to put a link across the top for how to check a fuel pressure if you don't have a Schrader valve. But that would be the next step. Okay, so we went ahead through the process of elimination and we checked the air filter. That looked fine. We checked the mass airflow sensor. That checked out fine. Next thing we did is we went ahead and we checked the fuel pressure. and let's say everything checks out fine. Now providing if you're running into any issues along the way, you want to fix those problems. And that's why I'm showing you links across the top on how to do so, because those could be the causes of that P0174 code. So let's say, as in the case with this vehicle, everything checked out. Filter's clean, looks good, mass airflow sensor is good, fuel pressure is good. Then the next thing what you're going to want to do, you can check for any vacuum leaks just to play that safe. A lot of times what you can do is you can just take some carburetor cleaner with the engine running, spray it around all your vacuum lines and hoses, and see if the engine starts to rev up and increase in the RPMs, which is an indication that you have a vacuum leak. And if you want to see how to do that, I believe I did a video on that as well. If I did, I'll put a link up here across the top, but I think I did one a while back. If there's no issues with that, then what I would do next is then what you want to do is you want to check your oxygen sensors. Now, the oxygen sensors can cause that problem as well. So let's go ahead and head inside the vehicle. We're going to connect to the OBD2 sensor, and what you want to do is get a reader that can actually track the voltage of the oxygen sensors, and it'll show it in like a line chart, so you can see the actual functionality of it and see if they're functioning properly. Let's go ahead and connect to it and see if that's our problem. All right, here we have bank 2 sensor 1, bank 2 sensor 2 on the bottom. Then we have bank 1 sensor 1, bank 1 sensor 2 on the top. All the sensors appear to be working fine, but let's run the car a little bit, see if it'll pinpoint the issue. All right, so as you can see there, bank 2 sensor 1 there in the lower left-hand corner, you'll notice there that the sensor now is just kind of flatlined, so definitely faulty because it should be burning the oxygen as the one above it is. Especially as we accelerate, then the voltage should increase, but this one's flatlined. So that sensor is definitely faulty and definitely the problem, so let's go ahead and replace that. Put a little power there. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Now, what I did is I ran this car to heat it up real good. And then now you can just take it off by hand. If you want to see how to replace oxygen sensors, you can do so via the link shown above. I already went ahead and disconnected the harness to make it easy. Pull that out. And you can see here, just get a hand, screw it in. Okay, it's tight. Let's go ahead and put a wrench to that, finish it off. You don't want to over tighten it. And then the next thing you would do is connect the harness. All right, let's go ahead and fire it up and see if it's idling nice and smooth now. All right, everything is idling nice and smooth. Just finished changing out the sensor that we had diagnosed was the issue, which was in bank 2, sensor 1, or the upstream sensor, and you can see there that it is functioning properly. These right here, that's your bank 1, sensor 1, bank 2, sensor 1, and those are your sensor 2s. But you can see there, they're both functioning properly as they are doing what they need to do with the unburned oxygen going through. So that was definitely the cause. We've been driving the vehicle now for a while just to make sure that there's no more issues, and car's running great. It is no more rough idling or shaking when we come to a stop because the fuel and air mixture ratio is off, because when that sensor goes, that's what happens. So it looks like that took care of it. Okay. Let's connect to the
connected to OBD
car's computer here and run a fault code check. Now that we've changed everything out, we cleared it all off. Let's see how it looks. All right, there you have it. No fault codes found. So everything is clear. It looks like that was our issue. We've driven the vehicle now after wiping it out. The car is actually running great. No fault codes found. All right, well, that pretty much wraps up this video. We went ahead and we diagnosed the correct problem, which was the O2 sensor. We went through the process of elimination through the air filter. We went through the mass airflow sensor. We checked the fuel pressure, the pressure regulator of the fuel pump. Everything there checked out fine. That then led us on to connect to the OBD2 and see the actual performance of our O2 sensors while they were in operation. And that then pinpointed the issue with the Bank 2 sensor. We've changed that out. Everything seems to be running great. So that took care of our problem. I hope this video helped you out. Please send me any questions, any comments. I would love to hear from you. As always, I appreciate the support. So please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time.